our views are looking pretty good, man.
All right, we're live on YouTube on the Leroy and Earl show with Carleeezy. What's up, Carleeezy?
Am I allowed to talk now, or is this a clean open?
No, this is we see what we do is. Okay, let me explain it. We go live on YouTube like a minute or two before I actually start the show part.
You know what okay. I mean? I just want to know my place and want to be quiet like a good boy.
So, wow. So I'll say I'm starting the show now. And when I say I'm starting the show now, that's when you be quiet like a good boy. Because I could just mute you, but we know what happened last time.
That's true. Cat videos.
Actually, now that I got you on a separate computer, I can mute you easily, and I know that you're muted. So I had a problem with that when you were on the same computer with 16 other things that I have to control from the computer itself instead of the soundboard. That's when it becomes confusing, and I forgot that I had turned it down, and yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada.
All right, I'm going to share on Twitter that we're going live.
Okay.
And I tweeted it.
Pop up. Mute this. Oh, Michelle's in there already. Man, she's good.
She's right on it.
She's acknowledging you got no hat on.
Yeah, I decided to go all natural.
Oh.
Right. Okay, so now's the part when I say we're going live. Now, and I'm going to hit record on the DAW tonight. That'll be a plus. So, all right, here we go. We're going live. And we are live, but we're going to go live for the other things. All right, which mouse do I need? I need this one. So now I got to go live on Podbean.
Guess what, shift heads? It's time for the Leroy and Earl Show.
All right, welcome to the Leroy and Earl Show, also known as, see, I got your volume up here, also known as WUED, the Big Talker.
Oh, yes.
Welcome to the radio talk show known as the Leroy and Earl Show. I'm Chuck. I'm so used to saying I'm Leroy.
I know, it's hard. I understand.
Although I never actually said I'm Leroy. Leroy did. But I felt like I was saying it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You were part of the club.
I was. And this is my co-host, Carleeezy. Say
hello.
Carleeezy this is your, what, fourth week?
It's fourth week. You could also call me the bureau chief if you'd like.
The bureau chief. Could we just call you BC for short?
Yes, you could. You could.
All right, you are tuned into the Leroy and Earl Show. We are live on YouTube, and we're live on Podbean. Hello, Michelle. Nice to see you.
I thought we almost had an issue, but then Michelle said everything's fine, so it's okay.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there will be issues. But
now I'm looking at the video, and you just completely got rid of me, huh? Is that how it works now?
Yes, I did, and I did that because first and foremost reason is because I have to have you on the main computer streaming on a streaming service like we're doing, which happens to be Zoom, which is audio is great, but that just adds more to that computer that's lagging it down. Plus you still have no light on you, so you just look like a black shadow. The shadow knows. So no one could see you anyway. So it's kind of. So I'm going with two cameras, a different view tonight, looking down on the studio here, so you can see everything that's going on. You can see all this stuff. You can't see Carleeezy because he's in the computer up there. And I just realized I actually have my face right in front of Carleeezy, but you wouldn't be able to see him anyway because
the screen's too bright.
Screen's too bright. Yeah, and you're not. So I'm not saying you're not smart. I'm saying you're in the shadows.
Wow.
Wow, it's correct. We got a lot of stuff to talk about on the show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest you get your bingo cards out because, you know I'm going to talk about the show. And the main thing I'm going to talk about the show about is Carleeezy shared this trailer for a movie with me the other day, a movie called Loquisha.
Mm-hmm.
And I about fell out of my chair, not only with just anger of, hey, that was my shtick. So we're gonna watch on YouTube, and you can hear the video or the audio. We're gonna watch the trailer for it. And,
I can't wait.
I think I'm not gonna tell them what it's about, and we'll watch it first, and then we'll talk about it, how it relates to this show, the Leroy and Earl Show. And as always, you can call us at 330-474-9833. I checked the phone beforehand, and it was working. Doesn't mean it'll work. Doesn't mean it'll work if you call, but
you mean WUED?
I'm sorry. How quickly I forget, huh?
It's
yes,
all right,
you can call us at 330-474-WUED. There you go. So, show is brought to you by Jack and Coke, and as always, discountwheelies.com. Also, Saul Gorman's going to be on later. He's going to talk about the Super Bowl and how much tickets used to cost and how much they cost now. And he said he had another cool thing he wanted to talk about, but we'll see about that. And I've got something I want to talk to you about, Carleeezy, and that is racism in America. And I have it. Yeah. You're like, I gotta go. Gotta go. No, I have a theory.
Okay.
And that is that racism doesn't actually even exist.
Holy jamoly.
Yeah, and it never did, and it doesn't now. So we'll talk about that in a little bit later.
Okay.
And
that's a good setup.
It is a good setup. I think you'll find my theory interesting, if not scatterbrained. And in the news, did you hear that some basketball player died?
Yeah, some. I feel like I should know who it is, but
is it LeBron James?
LeBron James.
Was it LeBron James? I think I would have heard more about that living in Northeast Ohio.
LeBron James.
No, I'm making light of a sad thing. Everyone knows. Unless you live in Afghanistan under a rock, you know that. What's his name?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. Wow. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. I was contemplating, and I may have did it if I had more time for a setup before the show, having like a helicopter sound.
Oh my goodness.
and an explosion.
Terrible.
And then I would be like, too soon?
Way too soon.
A good friend of mine, the day he died, like within hours of his death, which was Sunday, right? Or Monday?
Man. Monday? Yeah, maybe Monday.
He said to me, I don't know if you know it or not, but a lot of young people, a lot of kids, when they shoot a ball or they'll throw trash away, they'll be like, Kobe. You ever see that phenomenon? Well, he said, now it's going to be like this. Kobe, and he spun around in circles and fell on the floor.
I'm sorry. Were you raised in a household with no consequences?
So, yeah.
A sad occasion.
It was sad. The one thing that kind of struck me, like it made me think about, I thought about this years and years ago when Michael Jordan's father was carjacked and killed. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah,
that happened?
Yeah, a long time ago. Michael Jordan's father was carjacked and shot and killed, I think in Florida.
Jeez.
But anyway, at the time I thought, and it made me think again with Kobe, it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter how much fame and money you got. When it's time to go, nothing can save you, you know?
Yeah, that's true. It's true. And, I mean, not to, he's rich, obviously, okay? So he can do whatever he wants. But they said in a recent article that he was taking the helicopter to just avoid traffic.
Well, wasn't it his helicopter? I thought I read somewhere that he owned it.
Possibly, but like, come on, man. You're that rich where you
well, he is
just
that
drive
rich.
your car, bro.
He is that rich. And if you lived in Southern California and you could anybody who lives in Southern California, if had the money to do a helicopter, they
Good
would do
point.
it. They would do it
That's true.
in a
That's
heartbeat
true.
because the
Yeah.
traffic in Southern California is a nightmare. If you've never lived there, it's beyond anything you can imagine, unless you live somewhere like D.C. or Boston or Chicago.
Mm. Yeah, but more time with the family in the car.
Yeah,
A lot more
yeah.
time.
Well, I mean, you think about it. I mean, you could die in a car wreck too. So,
Sure.
and I'm sure it's not the first helicopter trip he's taken. I've probably done it thousands of times. So,
Probably. Yeah.
yeah,
That's true.
I haven't heard any official, like, what happened. You know, did something mechanical go wrong? Was
They said it was something about fuel and fog.
fuel and not having enough
And-
of it?
Yeah, kind of important. And something with the fog. I can't remember exactly. There's just been so many articles. I mean, every single day there's like 6 or 7 videos, articles that keep popping on my timeline. I don't really read them all. But I remember seeing something about fog and some type of malfunction and something with fuel. So it either ran out of fuel, and then I know that it like went into like a crazy dive before crashing. I saw a video today. They had a drone doing coverage of the wreckage and how far spread it was. Like it was a pretty fast crash.
I guess the further out the wreckage is, the harder it hit. Probably, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Well,
crazy.
I was making light of it, but it is sad. It is sad.
Did
but-
you hug your daughter when you found out?
No. It's not that sad. It's not that sad.
It's not that sad.
Because did you know that every day on the earth, 151,000 people die?
151,000
People die every day on this
now.
planet.
Is that where are you getting this information from?
Google?
Google.
I mean-
So it must be true.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's obviously it's on average. It's not
Okay,
like
gotcha.
exactly 151. It was like 151,665 or something like that. But I remember thinking, yeah, okay, 151,000 people died that day, and Kobe was one of them.
Kobe's one of them.
But nobody's having vigils for the other 150,499. You know what I mean?
Well, then they're not as famous, dude.
Right.
They got to bring in the big bucks to get that type of notoriety.
So that brings a question I have for you and for
Okay.
Michelle. Or anybody listen, you can call us at 330-474-9833 and tell me if you at, say, 18, or let's say younger than that, say at 15, you could be given a guarantee that you'd be wealthy and famous and have an amazing life, but you would die at 41. Would you do it?
No.
No.
Easy answer.
So how about if it
No.
got older, like 51?
No.
61?
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. So at 61, you'd take the rich and famous life with a guaranteed death at 61. So
I'll take it.
that's
It's just so much shit to do, Like, I mean,
what
I mean,
if what if you were really poor at the time, though? Think about it.
what if you're really poor? At 61?
No. At the time you were given the deal, say you're at 15, say you've been living in squalor since you were a kid, and your parents can barely get by, and you say you live in Ethiopia or whatever. I mean, obviously, it's a lot more attractive to say you could be rich and famous for the rest of your life now and be comfortable, but you will die at a young age. You're trading. I guess it would depend on your where you're starting from.
True. I mean, if I die, but then they freeze me like Walt Disney, then that's kind of lucrative. I'm okay with that. Because then I'll just get unfrozen 30 years into the future where they can,
Now you're
bring
living
you back to life.
Now you're living in a fantasy land.
Oh, Michelle agrees. She says 61.
Yeah. So, Michelle, I wrote Howdy Girl on there. I don't know if she's seen that because she didn't say hi back. I only wanted to know if she could see it. Because Carleeezy doesn't text you, doesn't message you, and I felt bad about that last week.
I am vocally responding to Michelle.
I know. Which
I
is
acknowledge
4
her
minutes off.
existence. That's messed up. So
Yeah.
you're telling me as a parent, after this sad news, you didn't go and hug your kids.
No, why?
Oh my goodness. You're supposed to. That's what everyone was saying.
Because
Go hug
some
your
famous
kids while you
basketball player died?
I mean, essentially, yes, but
I mean,
you know,
I don't know. I'm just if I'm a huge NFL fan, so if a famous football player died, and they do die, obviously, I'm always like, oh man, that's a bummer. But that's it. I mean, I'm not. First of all, my kids wouldn't even know who they are. They only know Kobe because he was, one of the best players, and he played for 20 years or whatever. And everybody throws their trash away, and goes Kobe. So, yeah, no, I did not hug my daughter. Did you hug anyone?
Did I probably did. I probably hugged someone.
I mean, because Kobe.
Because of Kobe?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, it was. I was sadder than I thought I would be, just because I grew up with, he was in the cartoons I watched, and every basketball game he's on the cover that I purchased. So it was like I knew the guy, and the thing that you were saying with Kobe too is like he was a word that we would probably use at least once a day. There's even Kobe beef too, so you can even eat Kobe.
And he was named after the beef, by the way. That's true. That's a true story. Look it up.
It's true. He's named after the beef.
Yeah, I read a story that his parents named him after the beef.
Now, did you see what Michelle said? I'm not gonna vocally respond if you're gonna be chatting in the group instead of vocally responding.
She said that?
No. That's what I'm telling you, that I'm not gonna vocally respond to Michelle since you want to write in the YouTube.
No, please continue to vocally respond. I just wanted to give you a hard time.
Interesting. Okay, well, she said she didn't have anyone to hug at the time, so she didn't. And she did see your message. Well, Michelle, if I saw you that day, I would give you a hug for Kobe Bryant.
Oh, isn't that nice?
I only hug our gold members.
Right. Yes. And well, you might not want to say that. I don't know if you want to hug Dildano or not.
Son of a bitch!
Now, I want to get this on film. Are you ready for this? You've already seen this, but ladies and gentlemen, if you were watching last episode, oh shit, they can't see the video.
No.
Well, just imagine everyone that I'm holding up a tabletop microphone stand so that the mic is closer to my face.
First of all, like I'm looking at you and I can't see any of that. So it wouldn't matter if you were.
Yeah, no, you can't. See, look, there it is.
Just barely.
There it is.
Like you could be holding up a wrench or a tire iron.
Anyway, I bet people don't even know the difference. Here you go. How's this? People don't even know the difference of the sound quality. They're like, oh, he sounds the same as last week.
No, you know what they know? They know they're not noticing any problems right now. They're just listening. Last week they were thinking, why does Carleeezy sound like he's like in the room with Chuck, but on the other side of the room?
You know what we should do? We should take this podcast and send it to the veteran people and see if they approve of my new voice.
They certainly didn't approve of Leroy. And that brings me back to getting your bingo cards out, people.
Oh,
because, one of the things we were thinking about doing is changing the name of the show. And Carleeezy came up with a great, what was it, 6-point plan? Or is it a 4-point plan?
6 steps.
6-step plan to possibly changing the name of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what I want to ask you, and this kind of ties in with the whole racism thing I was going to talk about.
Me as in me or me as in the audience?
You as in Carleeezy.
Okay, gotcha.
So, like Face of Dave suggested that we cut ties and start over because of the fact that we weren't woke.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that Leroy, okay, I'll just say it. I was doing audio blackface.
Can't believe you.
So
how are we even friends?
I don't know. That's a good question. because you're I don't know. Don't want to dig myself in a hole here.
Don't dig it, but just dig a little bit.
We've talked about this before. Like I promoted his audio blackface as a thing to try and get people's attention, right?
Right. Yeah, you want to be like a what's it called? Like a where you shock effect, right?
Shock jock, like Howard
Yeah,
Stern.
yeah.
That's how Howard Stern got famous,
Mm-hmm.
by doing things, that offended people.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured in this woke era, in this day and age of people being hypersensitive, I might get the attention, and then if they listen to the show, they'd realize I wasn't making fun of anyone. I mean,
Right.
I say that, but I mean, Earl and I, when we were together, teased everybody,
Right.
including ourselves. We even wrote songs about it. Earl did anyway. But I never made fun of anyone. I was never stereotyping black people. And the only reason why the character Leroy was black was because the pitched down voice sounded like a black guy. It sounded like, what's his name? Dang it, why is it slipping me? The black guy that sang the romantic songs that thousands of people got pregnant to.
Luther Vandross.
No, it wasn't. That is
It
true.
definitely was Luther Vandross.
No. It was a big guy. He was big.
Yeah, Luther Vandross was a big guy. Then he got skinny.
Why am I thinking?
Oh, you're talking about Barry White?
Yes, Barry White. Yep.
Okay.
That's why when the the voice was shifted down, I said I'm Leroy because I sounded like Barry White.
Mm-hmm.
So we went with it, and Earl was a skinny white redneck. Of course, no one was offended by that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And obviously he was.
There are thousands and millions of those.
Right. So, but anyway, so to try and make a terribly long story short,
Okay.
if we change the name, I don't think we should. I don't know how you feel. Do you feel like you would be embarrassed of the previous shows?
No. Oh, it's the history, man. You got to respect the foundation of where everything came from.
I mean, the reason why we changed is because I realized that no matter how good I thought it was or how good it actually was, people didn't understand.
Yeah.
And sure, they would understand if they would listen to 2 or 3 shows, but especially after Earl left with Leroy's voice being hard to understand, people weren't even listening for 30 seconds. So, so the fact that people were not understanding, and even Dave, remember he said on the thing there he had to listen like several times.
Yeah.
And he kept listening, so he realized that we weren't being racist. We were just, I was a white guy, middle-aged white guy playing a young black guy, playing you, which is the irony of this show now that you're on the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm the skinny white guy.
Mm-hmm. You reverse roles.
Yeah. And I remember when I first approached you about possibly coming on the show, I thought it'd be hilarious if we pitched your voice up and you were Earl and I was still Leroy. And you liked that so much that you were like, I just can't steal Earl's thunder. You didn't want to do it. So.
I also did not like it in general.
Did you feel not woke by imitating a skinny white guy?
Not woke at all. Michelle says, and this is why we love her so much, she was not offended by any of it. She was perfectly okay.
Yeah, most people weren't if they listened. In fact, we got kicked off a Strange Label from people that went to our website and read about it and never listened.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and too with the Dave, it's not really. It doesn't explain what the show is. Like most podcasts have like, oh, listen to the true crime podcast with Billy and Billy, or something like that. But you're just the Leroy and Earl show, and it's like, okay, am I supposed to know who Leroy or Earl are?
Right.
So the name change too would be cool because it's like, okay, we can hopefully bring some people in because they're like, oh, WUED. I have to listen to that. What's that about?
Right. And for me at this point, the only thing that keeps me from wanting to change the name is just it's already so established.
That too.
You know what I mean? I mean, we had the website, just ton. I mean, it will be some work to switch over. It will be. Well, here's what I'm thinking. We do this show for free, and it's hosted on a site that's free.
Mm-hmm.
But the site doesn't. It's not 100% reliable, although it's been 90% reliable. But it's lacking. It's lacking in some areas. So, and the main area is statistics. Like, if we switch over to any of the paid hosts, we're going to have stats.
Okay.
We're going to know how many people are listening, downloading, and from
Where
what
they're coming from.
Right, all that stuff. Now we have no idea. The only stats I have is if somebody goes directly to podcasts.com and listens to the show or downloads it, which nobody does.
Does Podbean give us anything?
Podbean doesn't now because we're using their free side.
I use the free version.
Right. The free version includes to be able to go live, which is awesome, and the site and 5 hours worth of audio up at once. So if we go to the paid version, we'll have unlimited audio up there, and we'll have statistics. So what I'm thinking is if we go to change the name, then I'm going to switch to a better setup, which is going to be a whole thing because now we got to make sure, because all the show can be heard anywhere now, and I did a ton of work to get that that. Now Podbean will do a lot of that work for us, but there'll be a few things I'll still have to do. But so when it comes to changing the name, it's not just about, well, what name would be cool or what can we change it to, or we don't like the name Leroy and Earl. It's about, just we don't have a huge following on Twitter and other places, but there's a few people over there. I mean, like Michelle and Dave, they're going to follow us no matter where we go. So
that's for sure.
So and another thing, mark this on your bingo card.
Okay.
If you the song I played at the beginning was an original. That was actually Come Back Earl. I took the vocals out of it. I took Leroy's vocals out. I'm going to start doing more original music to play on the show as opposed to playing copyrighted music. So that will help. And I have I'm really excited about this. I didn't tell you about it today because I wanted to save it for the show.
Oh, dear.
I have a Leroy and Earl tribute song that I put together. It's all original. And it's we're gonna actually take a break tonight in a few minutes to play it because it's 5 minutes long. But it is the quintessential song to leave the Leroy and Earl shtick in the past. You know what I mean?
And you didn't bring me on for keys.
I didn't bring you on for keys.
I'm an excellent penis.
Oh.
I could have helped.
Did you say you're an excellent penis?
Are you kidding me?
That's what it sounded like.
I'm the perfect penis for the job.
Why are you gay?
You should have never gotten that one. That's too applicable to everything.
I know. I love it. It's one of my favorites. That one and this one will never go away. Those are two set in stones. The other ones I can, take and change them out, but that one's going to stay forever.
Why are you gay?
But no, this song I'm really excited about. I put a lot of work into it. I've been working on it I worked into the wee hours of the night last night putting this song together. And
man.
And it, I kind of misspoke there. It's not we're leaving the whole thing behind. And even if we change the name, I'm still going to do the characters.
Yeah.
We're still going to have, And we might even have Leroy on once in a while, just to see what's going on. But, I don't know. As far as changing the name, I don't know what I would change it to because, the other thing is, one thing that hurts us is we're just a general talk show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's 800,000 of those.
Right.
If we did a show on the mating habits of the Japanese beetle.
That's very specific.
It may sound silly, but if we did a show like that, we would have a lot of listeners.
Yeah, because people are looking for something specific.
Right,
yeah.
because there's 10,000 people on this planet that are really into Japanese beetles, but there's only one podcast about that. Or maybe 3. Let's just say there's 3. People that are into, like Michelle and Dave and these guys that are into the general talk show, there's millions of those people. But there's millions of shows, so, anyway. I've thought about what could we make the show about specifically, but there's nothing that I want to limit myself to. You know what I mean? Like, you and I are both like TV and movies, but do we want to do a show just about TV and movies?
And then we would have to figure out the type of genre of, are we just general movies or general TV or horror? There's a lot to it. It's going to take some time to figure out our main shtick.
Well, it's like the things that I'm into, like I love the NFL. I don't want to do a show just about that. I love cigars. I don't want to do a show just about that. So, you know what I mean? It's like I love audio technical stuff, but I just like the general talk show feel where you and I can talk about racism or we could talk about a dead basketball player. You know?
Oh, we could call ourselves one of my favorite shows, by the way, growing up was Seinfeld. It was a show about nothing. That could be a thing. We're a show about nothing.
Would you just take this seriously?
That's what I'm going to say every time you lie.
Would you just take this seriously?
I love
You do
Seinfeld.
not. You do not. And the only show you like better is It's Always Sunny?
If I were to rank them, I would go Always Sunny, Seinfeld, Breaking Bad.
Wow. I hope you know, Michelle. He's lying through his teeth.
No way. No way.
Lying through his teeth. Do you have a favorite TV show for real?
Frasier.
Frasier. That's a pretty good show.
It's a great show.
I loved it.
I used to watch it. It would come on, and I always sang the theme song. And I loved the dog. Absolutely loved. I mean, I actually want one of those dogs when I can afford one because it was such a.
I don't remember it. What was it?
It was a Jack Russell Terrier.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. He would go get the newspaper, do a whole bunch of. It was really trained, like crazily good trained dog. And I just love his swag, dude. Kelsey Grammer, he's got massive swag.
Yeah, he did.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he was a great actor. Yeah, It was a good show. It's a good show.
It was.
Did you like him on Cheers, or is that too old for you?
I did watch a little bit of Cheers, but I could not get into it because I was too young.
Yeah. Well,
if I were to go back and watch Cheers, I may.
Yeah, might give it a shot. Because that's that's a spinoff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I figured you did.
I used to watch what was it called? Becker or Beck? He was on Cheers too. Becker. It was Becker.
I don't remember that.
The doctor. He was a doctor in Cheers, and then he. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I got the right name.
Michelle asks, "Where is that from?" I guess she's talking about this.
Why are you gay?
Yeah, I sent her the link. I don't know if
Oh, you did? Did you?
Yeah, thanks.
Cool.
Wow.
No,
wow.
I'm looking at the YouTube chat. I don't see a link. So.
Oh, because it's delayed.
Maybe it's not showing up. That's from actually a pretty viral video. Most people have seen it, but I actually have not the full video, but I have the whole thing where he says,
"Why are you gay?"
And then the lady says, "Who says I'm gay?" And he says, "You are gay."
He's from Uganda. Uganda.
So it is 7:30, and we used to always take a break halfway through the show and play a song. And that's not a format we use anymore, but we are going to tonight because I want to play this all original. This is the debut of this song. This is the Leroy and Earl tribute song.
Man.
And it is all, I made it with Apple Loops on my DAW. So those things are public, they're not copyrighted. And there's hundreds of thousands of them, literally. So in essence, it would be almost impossible for someone to copy this song. So it actually is original, but I'm not playing any of the instruments on this particular song. But I arranged it, put all the loops together, put all the Leroy and Earl sound bites in there. So this is a tribute to the Leroy and Earl show.
Now, do we have a drum roll?
No, we don't. We just do that. We do this. So, all right, shift heads everywhere. If you're listening to the show for the first time, they're called shift heads because, well, just go back and listen to the old shows. You know why. So this is a tribute to the Leroy and Earl show. We'll be back as soon as this is over. Enjoy.
Should we just start the intro over?
No, we're not doing that.
Let's not do that. Let's do the intro, though. We haven't even done it officially.
We just did it. Oh, that
No,
is.
we didn't say here, Earl.
Welcome to Leroy and Earl Split Shift. I am Leroy,
And I'm Earl.
and we're set to put you some shift.
Guess what, shift heads? Guess what, shift heads? Guess what, shift heads? It's time for the Leroy and Earl show.
Alright, chumps up, let's do this. Leroy!
And I'm Earl.
listening to the Leroy and Girl Show. You are listening to the Leroy and Girl Show.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean, I know I got this time to like come down to your place and do it right. I'm into music, you know. I'm like, yeah, that's how I want to come back. When I see your shows, when I see your program, I believe you guys will able to. You guys will be able to understand me. I'll do things real, and you guys will feel me. You will understand. People will like me when I come to your shows. I'll perform some kind of shows that you are into. What I used to do, I know how to do best. I'll do it, and you guys will surely enjoy me, and you will get a lot of money when I start performing on the stage.
Okay.
You're listening to Leroy and Earl's Pitch Shift.
Hey, Mr. Nevers, let me tell you, I went a whole month without making my dummy throw up.
What did you say? What did you say?
I went a whole month with time I didn't make my dummy throw up.
Oh, you better be joking.
Boy, oh boy, there's always one.
Father James here. Saul Gorman with my NFL picks of the week. Mr. Leroy, Mr. Takeover, fine, you go this, do the thing, oh boy. I am not dead. I'm not dead, you sons of bitches. You think I'm dead? You want to kill me like that? I made this show. This show is nothing without you, mother. God, you mother. And a Leroy. Ow.
Son of a bitch! I love Ricky Dixon.
One minute. Let's do it now. Screw it.
Yeah, screw it.
I feel good tonight. I think I just shared it. I hope I did. All right, you ready to go live?
Heck yes.
All right, we are live in 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty, we're back on the Leroy and Earl show with Leroy. I'm not. Damn it. I'm Chuck.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
Carleeezy.
So I don't. It probably didn't sound that great on your end because of the way we're communicating here. It probably sounded,
Yeah.
but it's a pretty thumping song to the point
It
where
sounded really bad. I'm glad you noticed.
I'm sure it sounded bad to you. Yes. Yeah. I don't know how it sounded on YouTube, but it'll sound good when you listen to the download.
Okay.
So
All right.
you may even have to turn your stereo down a hair, turn the bass
Ooh.
down because I got it thumping there, and
It was thumping.
It was I spent hours and hours on it, and the hardest part was, I laid down all the tracks for the song, but then when I put down the track with the different sound bites, they were all different volumes, right? So I had to go through each one and try to adjust the volume so that it was loud enough to hear, but not too loud, and you could still hear the music, and because it's not supposed to be. Did you hear the one with Namdi?
Yeah, a little bit. Little bit.
When you go back and listen to it, it's hilarious because it's one of the funniest moments in this history of the show. And this guy just rattles on in his South African accent about coming on the show, blah blah blah, blah. And he stops and Earl goes, "Okay." Yeah, it's great. So, and
All right.
the other really weird thing about this show is about that song is I did not put any Nana Leroy sound clips in there, but she's in there.
How is she in there?
I'm only assuming it's some kind of poltergeist.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's scary. When I heard it back, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't put any Nana Leroy in here because I couldn't find anything with her that wasn't so foul mouthed that I could put it in. So, oh my gosh.
Well, may she always haunt this podcast.
I think she probably will. So Michelle said she enjoyed it. I'm glad you did. I don't know how well it sounded on YouTube because we have some YouTube volume problems, but I don't care. So there you go about that.
Hey, we're getting there.
Yeah, I'm trying. I got it cranked up as hot as I could get it. But so, all right. So now that we got that out of the way, you can call us at 330-474-983. If you're listening to the show, there's nobody on Podbean tonight, unfortunately, but
474-983. What number is that?
I said 330-474-WUED, which is 9874. So, okay, there's a movie out called LaQuisha.
Yeah, baby.
And Carleeezy brought this to my attention the other day. And I'm going to play the trailer. I'm going to play it on YouTube. But you'll be able to hear it on the download. I think it'll still make sense just hearing the audio. So are you ready?
Ready.
Here's a trailer for a movie called LaQuisha.
You always seem to say the right thing to just the right person. What's your secret?
I'm really just talking to myself. I don't charge for my advice.
Well, you should, because it was amazing. I saw this, and I thought of you. You will be a hit in no time.
Welcome to the Joe Show. I submitted myself to a radio station for my own show.
Well, congratulations.
They rejected me.
Well, congratulations then.
You weren't right for your own show?
Jason's gifted. We need to get the money for this school.
$13,000 a semester? Asking me is their own show. If I was a black woman, I'd be perfect.
She's brilliant. I know. Get her in here.
LaQuisha gonna be the biggest thing in radio, but I still need my anonymity.
You nervous? Very. It's not a crime. It's theater.
You live with LaQuisha. What's your problem?
Hi, LaQuisha. It's free.
Oh, I ain't talking to you, not the way you sound. Next caller.
You go, girl.
You just be good to her. If you good to yourself, you can be good to others. But don't be too good because the police will come around.
Where did you get this?
I got another job.
Doing what?
Consulting work.
What the hell would you know about being a white guy anyway?
I know quite a bit.
LaQuisha is a real role model for every African-American woman on this planet. Like the whole city has LaQuisha mania.
I am LaQuisha, officer.
What was that?
I think I might be a black woman trapped in a white man's body.
You need to talk to LaQuisha. Just because she's a woman and a black person doesn't mean that she doesn't understand you.
Is this really happening?
I'm on a bridge above the river, and I'm gonna jump.
But thanks for calling. Enjoy your jump.
I gotta start listening to her.
So there it is. That's a movie called LaQuisha. And obviously, they stole my shtick, right?
It was so give some context for the people who are just listening. What did the guy look like?
Well, he was just an average, middle-aged white guy. And what is going on here? My computer is so lagged. I was going to try and go to the comments. Some of the comments were pretty funny. But basically, it's a movie about a guy who wants to get into radio. And actually, people hear him give advice as a bar. He's a bartender. And they say, you should get in radio. And if someone in radio says, hey, I think you're really good, here, go try out. And they don't want him because they don't say he's good. Then he basically starts saying he's a black woman, and they love him, right? What's hilarious is, he doesn't even sound like a black woman. He sounds like a black guy, you're talking like whatever. So, and the comments on YouTube were just hilarious about how racist it was and how terrible it was and how could any black person be involved in this movie. and blah blah blah. And, all, and when you shared it with me, my first thought was, "This is my gimmick, man." I got no attention at all for that. Of course, I wasn't making fun of it. Of course, he's not really making fun of black woman. He's just talking like her, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like it was racist, that the theme and the concept of the movie?
It is very unique, and I'm all for original movie ideas, but that one it's borderline. I can't really say it's like full on racist because we had a movie that was hugely successful called White Chicks, which was reverse.
Correct.
Two guys
right.
becoming two white, really rich Paris Hilton type girls. And that was widely accepted, and they made millions of dollars. It's a cult classic movie. So it's kind of like I can't really say it is, but it's close.
Would it have been racist, 20 years ago?
White Chicks came out like 10 years ago, so
really, I think it was more than that, wasn't it? You're gonna look it up now. The master of the movies. Okay, here's what I think about it as far as the racist roots of it.
Oh, wow. It was almost 20 years ago.
Oh, hey, look at
2004.
Look who's got it going on, huh?
Fair enough.
Right. I think the only racist aspect of it is they're saying, our society is to the point where he couldn't, even though he was good at what he did, he couldn't do it because he's a white guy, but he could do it as a black woman. I don't know what kind of racism that is. I don't think it's actually racism. It's just a comment on our society, which is somewhat accurate, isn't it? I mean, we have affirmative action, and especially if you're a black and a woman, that's two minorities you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, I think the movie was probably made partially the same way I did my audio quote unquote blackface to get
shock factor
to get attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
do you think that if White Chicks were to release in 2020, it would be accepted? Michelle says otherwise. She says, don't know if that's going to be possible.
I think White Chicks would be. I don't know if it would be accepted as a good movie, but the concept I don't think would ever be looked down upon, because in general in society, we kind of think of racism as being a white person's problem. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously it's the black person's problem they have to deal with, but what I'm saying is we think of, when you hear the word racism, you think of white people and Donald Trump. You don't think of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't think of...
Very specific.
And anybody on the planet can be racist towards another race, but in general, in America, racism is something that white people do to black people, and obviously it's understandable why, a little thing called slavery that happened. So, but that brings me to my theory on racism.
Oh, we got a theory.
Yeah, you ready? Remember I told you earlier I had a theory that racism actually doesn't even exist.
Holy.
And it never has.
Okay. Let's hear it.
And I think racism is just a label that we put on our actions to push another person down and lift ourselves up. And as human beings on the planet since the caveman days, that's what we do. We push we in general, I'm not saying every person that does this, but as we were evolving, it's a survival instinct. The survival instinct kicks in, and it causes one person to want to push other people down, or one group to push other people down at their elevation, right? So if there were no races on the planet, if tomorrow we were all exactly the same color and from the same place, we would still treat each other poorly for different reasons. So
yeah, for like money or
status or whatever. I mean, people do it now to each other that are the same race. So, in other words, yes, there have been people in the past in the world, and there still are people that believe that their race is superior and another race is inferior. But if you have half a brain and you're living in the 21st century, you know that is completely not founded in any kind of science or anything. Okay? All human beings have the same ability to learn and to do things. Now, obviously some groups of people around the planet have less access to technology or whatever. So, you know what I mean? So maybe they're less advanced, which in a whole might make them see less intelligent, but in general, all humans are the same, right?
Yeah.
So when people are being racist, quote unquote, they are just doing that thing where they're pushing one group of people down to elevate themselves. So it isn't actually about the race of the person, especially in this day and age. It's about that making myself elevated at your expense.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's all over. I mean, anywhere you go, there's always someone that thinks that they're better than other people, or.
But I feel like when we call it racism, we make it this special, almost like a disease that some people might have, or mental illness, or you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It puts it in a class all by itself over here, that's different than, say, myself as a white guy. Say I'm well-to-do, and I go into a neighborhood, and I'm like, these people are beneath me, and I might treat them poorly because they're poor, even though they're the same race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In other words, I don't know. I feel like racism is like given too much credit, I guess, for it's just a natural human instinct that's terrible, and we should try and not do it. But
well, sometimes it's easier just to pick that word than say I'm actually just a selfish,
right,
messed up person.
and in this day and age, like I said, if you actually believe that a certain race is inferior to you, then it's not just selfish; you're stupid. You know, what I mean, there's something mentally wrong with you that you think that one race of people is, So yeah, that's my take on racism. It doesn't exist. So now can we just all get along?
Interesting.
Like a famous black man once said. You know who said that, right?
Yeah.
Who?
Mr. Huxtable.
No, he said, hey, come to my hotel room later. I got some drugs.
Hey, just to completely shift everything 180 degrees, are you interested in figuring out the United States most deadliest cities? Is that something that interests you?
Most deadliest in what way? From
like murder rate.
Murder rate. That is an interesting topic.
I mean, I can give you the quick top 10 if you like.
Let me see if I can guess.
Okay.
At least number one, the highest murder rate.
So
city.
number one, you want to guess number one?
Number one is Chicago.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay. It's not Chicago.
Detroit. Do you want to guess any place that's on the list?
Are you telling me Chicago's not even on the list?
No, but it's not in the top 10.
Not in the top 10. Detroit.
Yes, that's in the top 10.
Okay. How about New York City?
Not in the top 10.
Not in the top 10.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
All right, I guess I'm murder rate, huh?
Yeah, number 10. I'll send you the link. There's they have like 60 of them. Washington D.C.
is number what?
Number 10. Number 10. The murder rate is 22.8 per 100. 100 or 100,000? I'm not sure. We'll just say 100. Number 9 is West Palm Beach, Florida. Go figure.
Are you telling me the murder rate's bigger in West Palm Beach than Chicago?
Yeah, 24.2. After that, number 8 is Shreveport, Louisiana, wherever the hell that is.
Shreveport?
Shreve, yes.
Shreveport, Louisiana is number what?
Number 8.
Wow.
Here we go. Now we're close to home. Number 7 is Dayton, Ohio. Woo woo.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, Michelle says Detroit. Very good. Detroit is on the top 10. Number 6 is Memphis, Tennessee, which I thought that was that's interesting.
Huh.
I've been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Number 5, Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge.
2 Louisiana cities in the top 10.
Yep. Isn't that great?
Wow.
Number 4. Oh, check this out. New Orleans, Louisiana.
3 Louisiana cities. Wow.
Number
Wow.
3, as Michelle stated, Detroit, Michigan.
Go Lions.
In 2018, 261 people were murdered in that city.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Number 2, where I'm going in a couple of weeks, Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland is number 2 murder capital. And really?
I'll be there in a couple of weeks. Can't wait.
Wow. That's a nice city too. I never would have guessed. Never.
The murder rate is 51 per. Either that's 100,000 or 100. I'm not sure. I think it's 100,000.
Wow. And then we need a drum roll for number 1. Here we go.
Okay, we got one. St. Louis, Missouri.
I don't know if I believe this.
Though the city
St.
still
Louis.
has though the city still has the highest murder rate in the country, 2018 marked the second consecutive year with a decline in total murders. So it's on the downfall.
It's on the downfall, but still number 1, huh?
Still number 1.
Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Whoa. What was that?
Whoa.
What was that?
No Chicago.
No Chicago, no New York City, no Los Angeles, no Dallas, no Houston, no Cleveland, none of the big cities you would think. Detroit's probably the only one. No Chicago. I can't believe that. Yeah. I know like in 1925, Chicago was the murder capital of the world during Prohibition. Crazy.
San Bernardino, California is number 12. So there's your California one.
Wow. Number 12.
And Chicago, Illinois is number 16. In 2018, 563 people were murdered in that city.
Wow.
Jeez.
Hey, on the line we got Saul Gorman. How's it going, buddy?
It's going well. Thank you for unmuting me there. And you can turn the music down now. Jeez, this show has not gotten any better. I can tell you that right now.
Come on, man. Did you call it just to insult us?
No, I heard you talking about the murder capitals of the world. And speaking about murder, have you seen how much a ticket's going for the Super Bowl?
I have not. How much is a ticket going for the Super Bowl?
Hey, Carleeezy.
Yo,
Carleeezy, listen.
Yo.
So you just gave us the old murder capital of, murder capitals, the top 10, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You want to talk about murder? Take a guess at how much an average Super Bowl ticket is for the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday.
$3,161.
It hasn't been that much since 2014. In 2020, the average ticket for the Super Bowl between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers is $7,733.
Oh.
Okay, I want you to compare that to Super Bowl I, where tickets were $9.
100 years ago.
$9. It wasn't 100 years ago. It was like,
you don't even know.
It was like 53 years ago. All right, I know. Listen, I'm the NFL guru around here.
Gotcha.
Right?
My bad.
Yeah, that's right. He's the NFL guru.
So actually, and I don't know why this is, but this is what it is. This year's Super Bowl is not the most expensive one. The most expensive Super Bowl in history was back in 2015 when the New England Patriots beat the Seattle Seahawks. The average Super Bowl ticket price then was $9,723. So my question for you boys is, who the hell is going to the Super Bowl? Sure as hell ain't me.
Yeah, me neither. $7,000 to go to the Super Bowl? I could do a lot with $7,000.
No kidding.
Dave Ramsey is strongly against purchasing Super Bowl tickets.
Dave Ramsey is rolling over in his grave when he sees that.
I don't think he's dead.
Well, if he sees those prices, he'll have a heart attack and then roll over.
So, hey, Saul, what's your prediction for the Super Bowl?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I am elated, ecstatic, and relieved that the Green Bay Packers did not win. Otherwise, I would be, sitting here, I would be screaming right now that this whole thing is rigged. But they did not win, so I have faith in Roger Goodell and the NFL for a little bit longer. But the Chiefs are going to play the 49ers, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a lot better than last year's snooze fest. And I predict and I'm going to go out on a limb here, that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl by 3 points, by a field goal. By a field goal, my friends. That's what the Kansas City Chiefs are going to do. I'm not going to predict the score, mostly because I have bets on it and I don't want to give anything away. So.
What would you be giving away?
Just, the whole line and all that stuff. It's none of your business there, Chuck.
Damn, by 3 points. This is going to be a close game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a lot of points scored, a lot of defense, a lot of turnovers. Patrick Mahomes, young man, his first time in the game there. Of course, Garoppolo on the other side to be his first time too. He's a little bit older, but yeah, a lot of fresh meat, so to speak. All the old guard, the Drew Breeses, the Tom Brady's, and the Aaron Rodgers. They didn't make it this year, so it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a lot of fun. And what do you got any plans there, Carleeezy, for the Super Bowl?
All I want, every single Super Bowl party, every single year, I request one thing. You know what that is?
No, what?
One food dish to rule them all. Buffalo chicken dip.
Really? And my wife makes that every year.
Every year, I will go out of my way to find some friends that have made buffalo chicken dip, and I will go get it.
Well, come on over. You know where I live. We'll be eating buffalo chicken dip on the Super Bowl, and my wife makes some killer buffalo chicken dip. So,
really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, she'll be out of town because she's going out of town to visit with her parents, but she's going to make it ahead of time because I told her she has to. So. Yep.
Can I talk some more?
Do you have more to say?
Not really.
All right, Saul, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. You guys keep up the good work. I'll get used to this new format eventually. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see you, Saul.
All right, goodbye.
Saul Gorman there from the Leroy and Earl Show. That's what we could do. If we change the name, we'll just, when a character comes on, we'll say, and there's Saul Gorman from the Leroy and Earl Show.
Boom.
Boom, there you have it. So I didn't really mean to cut you off there, but you're talking about the murder capitals and the Super Bowl prices. I thought I could slide that in like a segue right in there like that.
Forgive you.
He doesn't forgive me. Yeah. So, we're going to end the show tonight. Maybe not right this second, because Carleeezy may have something else to say. We're going to end the show with another original song of mine.
I have the Urban Dictionary word of the day. That's it.
And the Urban Dictionary word of the day, which we should probably change to word of the week.
Word of the week.
Considering we don't do the show every day. Thank God.
But it's only for this day, though.
True. That's true. That is true.
It's an easy one. You're going to guess this one right away.
I'm going to guess the definition. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's Kobe.
It's when you shoot anything into anything.
Good point. Yeah. Well, when everyone yells when they shoot a fadeaway jump shot with a paper ball into the garbage can.
Yeah, there we go. Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going to go Kobe.
I know. Everyone's going to cry now. It's going to be
I'm sorry. Were you raised in a household with no consequences?
Yeah, I hit the wrong one.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you. So, yeah. Did anybody get bingo tonight? We should probably.
I did.
Did you? That's a really good idea. We should probably actually make up bingo cards.
Dude,
So,
I'm telling you.
So, yep. All right. This was a good show. I appreciate everyone that's listening and has listened. All our gold member shift heads, which, there's another thing. If we change the show, we might have to. People aren't going to know what the hell he's talking about shift heads. But anyway, we appreciate you listening to the Leroy and Earl Show, which is WUED, the big talker.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right, we're going to end, like I said, with another original song. This is almost all original songs. I did play a little clutch there as a bumper. And, we're going to end with this. This is just an instrumental. I am playing the guitars and the basses. And
there's multiple guitars and basses.
Yes. Well, no, there's only one bass in this song, but there's multiple guitars that I'm playing. And you'll only hear one because it's different tracks that makes it sound bigger.
Well,
picture.
I will only hear scratchy noises.
Yes. Yeah, you will hear garbage, complete garbage, and everyone else will hear this. So this is the Leroy and Earl Show. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. We're live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And bye.
You know the thing about a rat? It's got lifeless eyes, black eyes like a doll's eye. Don't seem to be living at all when it come at you, till it bites you. And then the eyes roll over white, and you don't hear nothing but the screaming and the hollering.
You're listening to the Leroy and Earl Show. All 2 inches of it.
All right, that's I decided I'd start doing some original stuff, and that's it's not the best thing in the world, but it's it's not copyrighted.
It's true.
And I'll come up with some better stuff, some more. And I started by thinking I'm going to make a theme song, for the show, and then I thought, well, we might change the name, so I probably shouldn't make a theme song just yet. So
right.
So, yep.
I believe in you, man.
I believe in me too. I just have to stop watching so much TV. It's like last night. I'm like, I'm not watching any TV. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna knock this song out. I'm gonna take this other song and make it presentable. I have like 30 songs written and recorded, but they're not mixed, and there's no other instruments put. They're not ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no keys.
Well, you know what? If you want to put some keys, you need to get your ass over here, and we'll put some keys in.
You don't have a keyboard over there.
Well, you'd have to bring a keyboard.
Or once I get my setup, I could plug in my keyboard with the XLR cable. Boom.
How are you gonna? You mean like we're doing this right now?
No, like you would send over the.
Oh! I got you.
And then I would play over it and then send it back to you. Boom.
Gotcha. We could do that. We will do that. All right, Michelle, thanks so much for listening and conversing with us. We had someone else in there for a while. Did you see that?
Yeah, Jack of all trades.
Yeah, the Jack Attack.
Do we have anyone on Podbean?
No one on Podbean tonight. No one. It said we had one participant, but I think that might be me. But no one was in the room there. But that's okay. See, the thing with Podbean, it's an app, so people have to download the app. And just like you said, and I think even Michelle said, oh, another app. Nobody wants to do another app. But
Mm-hmm.
but hey, it's one way to go live, and it saved my butt a couple weeks ago when I forgot to hit record.
True.
Because it records it, so I was able to download it and take the part that I didn't record and edit it with the other part. So otherwise, it would have been a sucky. That would've been sucky. So if nothing else, it's good as a backup. So
True.
But anyway. All right, we're going to say goodbye to Michelle and say goodbye everyone on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Michelle, give me a comment on Facebook or whatever, on Twitter, what view you like best. If you like to see the studio here, if you'd rather see some other angle, and of course, I know you want to see Carleeezy, but he doesn't want to light up his face there.
Light up my world.
Plus, when I had you in the video, it was so lagged out, even on the replay, so it's just not going to work.
That's okay.
If I get another computer or you get a light, we'll figure something out.
My feelings are only hurt just a little.
Just a little bit. All right, see you later, Michelle. Have a good night. Thanks for listening.